New faces, same show, and tonight we have action from across the globe to cover.
That's right, Riley. We have Olympic updates, a look at the NFLPA's new proposal, and more. Wheelhaus starts now.
I'm Riley Kennedy.
And I'm Ben GRIMAUDO. Thanks for joining us.
The NFL's Players Association sent ballots to members today for voting on the proposed collective bargaining agreement. Around 2,000 members will have a window of about 7.5 days to examine the 439-page document and cast a yes or no vote. Players would see their paycheck spread over a 36-week period each year, once the 17-game schedule is implemented. The regular season would go from 16 to 17 games, and the active roster would also go from 53 to 55 players.
Moving over to the diamond now. As the Boston Red Sox pitching problems continue, the team's ace, Chris Sale, has been dealing with recent elbow soreness in his throwing arm. And following an MRI earlier this week, it was determined that Sale has a flexor strain. While the 7-time All-Star does not need surgery yet, he told NESN earlier today that it is still on the table. All of this comes off of a 2019 campaign that saw Sale post a career-low 4.4 ERA.
The Milwaukee Brewers have locked up their man for the long term as they signed star outfielder Christian Yelich to a 7-year extension. The deal is reportedly worth $188.5 million and will keep the 2018 MVP on the team through the 2028 season. Yelich has hit a .327 and slugged 80 home runs since joining the Brew Crew back in 2018. He has also won the NL batting title, NL Silver Slugger, and has been named to the All-Star team in both seasons as well.
More men came forward against the recent allegations of Dr. Robert Anderson of Michigan. Anderson served as Michigan's Director of Health Service and physician for multiple athletic teams. 4 men recently filed lawsuits against the school, saying Dr. Robert Anderson sexually assaulted them while they were members of the football, hockey, and wrestling teams in the 1980s. 2 others even said they were molested during medical exams. In total, there have been 103 total complaints against Anderson, who worked at Michigan from 1966 to his retirement.
There may soon be a reason to watch Warriors basketball again. After a long time off to recoup his broken left hand, 2-time MVP Steph Curry is slated to return to the hardwood. In fact, that game is tipped off already in San Francisco. The Chase Arena will welcome back the star after he broke his hand on October 30th. Curry will join new teammate Andrew Wiggins for the last 20 games of the season.
Now moving over to the diamond for some spring training. The Braves taking on the Pirates, and top of the second off the 3-1 pitch, it's Peter O'Brien. The former Yankee prospect makes it 1-0 Braves. Bottom of the third now, it's Cole Tucker's turn. He hits a bomb to center field, and the Pirates tie the game at 1 apiece. But Pittsburgh not done yet. This time, it's going to come off the bat of Josh Bell, who slams it to center field. And later on, in the bottom of the 5th, this time, Brian Reynolds with a 2-run shot, and the Bucks all over the Braves. Trailing 7-2 now, the Braves start to claw back in with a couple of deep shots of their own. And just like that, it's going to be a 7-7 game off of a second late Atlanta home run. Let's pick things up in the top of the 9th. Bases loaded, Kazmir Jr. hits it into shallow left. He's going to score. Ball and Lopez in Atlanta coming all the way back to pick up the win, 9-7.
Tim Duncan served as the San Antonio Spurs head coach on Tuesday night against the Hornets. Duncan joined the staff in the summer and in his first season with the team. This isn't Duncan's first rodeo serving as a coach, as he filled in for Greg Popovich on November 16th when Pop was ejected. Popovich was dealing with personal business as the team squeaked out a close win, 104-103. Well, let's get right to the highlights. As they won 104-103, you see Duncan on the side of the court. Kicking things off, Miles Bridges gets it going for the Hornets in the corner. Second quarter action, Cody Martin with the behind-the-back cut with a powerful slam. Third quarter now, Murray strips Martin, and wha-bam, the one-handed slammeroo. Spurs trying to climb back. Murray gives a little behind-the-back pass to Forbes, who drains a 3. 4 minutes left in the game, Spurs with the lead. PJ Washington, who's heavily contested, makes that three. DeMar DeRozan, trying to be the hero down the stretch, pushes off, but gets it to go. Murray, let's see what Murray does after watching DeRozan do that. He also pushes it off, but gets it as the shot clock runs out. Hornets trying to get something from Rozier. Terry Rozier with the up and under off the glass with the right hand. DeMar DeRozan in a 1-point game tries to get it, but hits off the front iron. Hornets with the rebound. Terry Rozier, can he be the man? 104-103. Terry Rozier against Murray. Takes it to the hole with the right hand, puts it in the middle. Martin misses it. The Spurs get it. They win 104-103.
Now let's pick it up in college basketball. A little SEC action now. Number 17, Auburn taking on Texas A&M at home and up 7-1. It's Samir Dowdy hitting one of his 5 triples. Midway through the first half, though, Josh Nebo with the putback to tie the game up at 15. And now tied at 22. Watch this is Andre Gordon, the nice off-ball movement. Catch it and pop. Count it. Aggies up 3 now. We're going to pick things up in the second half, and Nebo on the block, and not really sure what Buzz Williams is thinking here, but Josh Nebo goes over Anthony McLemore, and A&M goes back up by 3. Aggies now showing some prowess on defense. It's J.J. Chandler with the steal, slamming it home. 4-point game later on in the second, and Savion Flagg in Cambridge's face for 3. Barely rolls in, but that is good. And now with 2 minutes to go, A&M off the break, and it's Nebo again. He had 19 points in the game. Last-ditch effort now for Auburn. McCormick, and it's a 2-point game with 7.5 seconds left. And with 3 seconds left, Auburn to tie it. Purifoy from deep, but it goes off the back of the rim, and A&M hands Auburn their first home loss of the season.
Great game. Buffalo Wild Wings is giving 2 lucky fans a chance to stay at B-Dubs for one night during March Madness. The restaurant, located in Chicago's Lincoln Park, is building a bed and breakfast style pop-up living space inside its restaurant. They are renaming it B&B Dubs. B stands for beer, buzzer beaters, bunk beds, and bathrobes. To enter, post a video explaining why you're the ultimate March Madness fan on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag B&B Dubs contest. And, of course, tag a friend. Winners will be announced March 15th.
So if I tag you, Riley, are we going together?
Of course.
Well, after the break, we will take a look at how the Olympics plan to handle the coronavirus. 5 months away, what does it look like in Tokyo?
And the Flyers and Capitals have had a battle on the ice, but there was another white-hot rivalry that faced off in the building. Wheelhaus will be here when you get back. Welcome back to Wheelhaus. Let's get international and talk about 5 months from now in Tokyo. With the 2020 Summer Olympics scheduled to take place in Japan starting in July, the world is wondering if the games will take place as scheduled. With the widespread coronavirus impacting nations worldwide, Japan must show to Olympic officials that they are capable of hosting the event and keeping everyone healthy.
Since 2011, when Japan won the bid to host the 2020 Summer Olympics, they've spent tens of billions of dollars building out the infrastructure, including Japan's new national stadium, where the opening ceremonies for the Olympics are supposed to be held in less than 5 months. You can actually still hear the construction going on just outside the stadium as they continue to build out and prepare for these games. And come over here with me. This is out in front of Japan's Olympic Museum. You can see people taking pictures with the Olympic rings. There are replicas of successful Olympic Games that were held here in Japan, Nagano, Sapporo, and Tokyo. It was here that we actually caught up with Olympic officials from Sweden. They were here to inspect the progress being made here in Japan in the build-up to the Olympic Games.
I haven't heard any concerns at all about the sport part. And now we look in the Olympic Village, and that would be fine as well. So we are very comfortable and yeah, looking forward to the games. Hope it will be in July.
But the preparations are being called into question, and it's not because of the infrastructure that's on time, it's because of the coronavirus. And if you take a look right here, this is what speaks volumes. It speaks to the dilemma that Japan is facing. In Japanese, it explains that the reason that this museum is closed is because of the coronavirus. In English, it just says that the museum is closed. And now this is what it's all about. It's up to Japan now to not only reassure the world that they're ready to host these Olympic Games in less than 5 months, but also deal with the coronavirus at the very same time.
With coronavirus impacting so many gatherings, what happens if the disease impacts the Olympic Games this summer? NBC says it's covered. Comcast CEO Brian Roberts says his company, which owns NBC, is insured if the games are canceled. Roberts says NBC is covered for any of the expenses we make, and there would be no losses should there be no Olympics. He also stressed the broadcaster believes the Olympics are not going to be canceled or delayed.
I can tell you that today in the meeting of the executive board, neither the word cancellation nor the word postponement was even mentioned. Of course, we are a responsible organization. This is why we have this joint task force, which is having regular meetings, and there we are addressing there any issues which may arise, but we are not speculating on any kind of future.
March Madness is making its way to us in the meantime, and similar precautions are being made to combat the virus. The NCAA formed a council to handle preventative measures related to the spread of coronavirus, especially with multiple sold-out games being held across the country. The panel will be focusing first on the first 4 games being held in Dayton, Ohio. The panel has stated the immediate concern is low, but being careful, ensure of the safety of the spectators takes priority.
Well, Nova and Seton Hall, this is a huge top 15 matchup. Gillespie gets it going for Villanova. 12 minutes in the first half. A beautiful teamwork for Seton Hall with a big man throwing it down with authority. Second half action, Powell goes up top to Gill, who flushes it home. You know, if Seton Hall goes anywhere this year, it is because of Powell, the beautiful passing skills on display. Nova up by 4. Gillespie takes an outside shot and, well, Robinson Earl tips it in for Nova. 4 minutes left. Gillespie up top. Look at him right here up top. Draws the defense. Perfect kick out 3. Nothing but net for Nova. 20 seconds left. Nova up by 3. Look at Gillespie throw the inbound pass and bam! Samuels throwing it down for Nova. Last second chance for Seton Hall in the corner. Off the rim, and Seton Hall loses in a huge Big East matchup. Villanova survives. Powell, you know, for Seton Hall looks a little disappointed as his team couldn't turn out to win. Watch out though for Seton Hall because they could be a national championship contender.
Moving over to the ice, we saw a battle between the Metropolitan Division's top 2 teams, and first period on the attack, Panique dropping it off to Lars Eller, who beats Brian Elliott to put the Caps up. But Flyers on the power play now, and Travis Konecny from the doorstep for the putback. He knots a score at 1 apiece. Later on in the second, Flyers up 2-1 now, and some tic-tac-toe passing here. Beautiful passing as Tyler Pitlick from Raffle and Grant, and Philly takes a commanding 3-1 lead going into the third period. But the Caps looking to get back in the game, and Hathaway leading a 1-on-2, and look at this, finding the streaking Wilson, who back to Hathaway, bang, and it's 3-2. Still 3-2 in the third period. Now, Ivan Pravilov with the beautiful wrist shot right here. 4-2 Flyers, and they go on to win 5-2 the final.
In case you live under a rock, the Oswego State men's hockey team faced off against their arch rival Plattsburgh Tuesday. The second round of the whiteout game had a little more heat to it. Why? Well, it was a playoff game. Win and stay alive, and that's what the Lakers did. A final of 4-1 in the MCC moves Oswego on to face a juggernaut in Geneseo this weekend. If Oswego wins, well, maybe, just maybe, they have a shot at the big dance. I heard you like numbers. Well, I got 10 digits for you after the break.
And a story from Vermont's basketball team you'll want to check out. Welcome back to the Wheelhouse. Our coolest story today is from some college hoops, specifically the University of Vermont, where Josh Speedell took the court after a near-fatal car crash.
Yeah, Speedell scored in his first return to hardwood and is well on his way to recovery.
Yeah, and you know, Riley, this is something that you just love to see. One of the things we love about sports are the heartwarming stories like this, and really good to see him come on his senior day to score his first college bucket. But now we're going to take it to the top 10 plays that weren't on SportsCenter, and kicking off our top 10 right now, coming back from that Texas A&M against Auburn game, Josh Nebo, and I'm not sure what Buzz Williams' reaction is, but he had 19 points, showing off his Zion-esque athleticism there, Riley.
Number 9, the LA show, Rondo up top to AD with a slammeroo. Come on, Rondo, don't do us like that.
And number 8, Luka Doncic. Now Doncic putting Drew Holiday on skates right here. He didn't finish the play with a bucket, but that is a highlight-worthy crossover. Doncic, a 30-point triple-double in last night's OT win versus the Pelicans.
Number 7, we have the best team in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis to Bledsoe up top for the Greek Freak. Slow-mo Giannis. This is a perfect dunk, throwing it down with authority.
And you like alley-oops, Riley? Well, coming up at number 6, we have Utah's version is Bojan Bogdanovic throwing it up to Spida Mitchell for the alley-oop finish in last night's win against the Knicks.
All right, I don't know if I can top that, but at number 5, oh my, everybody take cover. Christian Wood with authority, looking like Blake Griffin on this replay. Look at him hang on to the rim, young fellow.
Yeah, and at number 4, this is one guy I would never want to get in front of, and that's Zion Williamson. Throwing down Maxi Kleber on the spin, two-hand finish. Zion with another 20-point game last night.
Number 3, game time? No, Lillard time. Outside the logo, he's been playing so well for the Blazers, making it look so effortless. Nothing but net.
And number 2, probably the best highlight-worthy dunk on this compilation, and Jaylen Brown with the strip, and watch this 360 finish. Brown has been playing amazing lately, but they still lost last night to Brooklyn in OT.
Sign him up for the dunk contest. Number 1, the number 1 play of the night. LeBron, the king, shooting it from the logo, reaching for the throne. Nothing but nylon.
Yeah, and we saw Zion and LeBron face off again, and LeBron, of course, getting the best of Zion again, but Zion starting to show a lot of improvement in his short NBA career.
Yeah, in his debut, yeah, Zion's looking great, LeBron's looking great. We're going to see if Zion can make a push and help the Pelicans get to an 8 seed. Coming up, we're covering the draft and free agency in our big send-off.
And you won't want to miss that, so see you after the break.
Our big send-off tonight is an update on the current situation in the NFL regarding free agency and the upcoming draft.
NFL free agency begins on March 18th, and the free agent quarterback market is expected to bring some major changes across the league. Tom Brady could be playing in a different uniform for the first time in the 6-time Super Bowl champions' 20-year career. Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, and Teddy Bridgewater are other options at quarterback in the free agent market, with Cam Newton and Andy Dalton expected to be available via trade, and with Jadeveon Clowney, Derrick Henry, Jack Conklin, and Amari Cooper being some of the other top free agents at other positions.
Yeah, definitely the top free agents. Well, the NFL draft is also quickly approaching on April 23rd and ending on April 25th. For the first time ever, the draft will take place in Las Vegas, home of the Raiders, as they move from Oakland for the 2020 season. The NFL Combine also concluded this week on Monday. Players that rose their draft stocks were running back Jonathan Taylor of Wisconsin, wide receiver Chase Claypool of Notre Dame, and wide receiver Justin Jefferson of LSU, who just came off a national championship win. Jefferson's teammate Joe Burrow also got headline attention this week, where his hands were measured at 9 inches. The Cincinnati Bengals picked first, and their main target is Burrow. Ben, who do you think ends up in Cincinnati?
It's obviously going to be Burrow unless some team comes in and gives them, 3 or 4 first-round draft picks like
Definitely.
we saw the Redskins give Cleveland a couple of years ago. But looking at other prospects, Jonathan Taylor is a player who had a good combine, but you look at recent history, we haven't seen the running back really be highly valued in the draft as of late.
Definitely. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, but I mean, Justin Jefferson, he could be the top wide receiver in the draft.
Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Ruggs. It's a deep draft,
Very
but
deep.
going off to this quarterback debate, everything goes and relies on Tom Brady. Where does he go? Oakland, New England, LA, just a lot of pieces to fall coming up.
Well, I've seen some people speculate where Tom Brady is going to go. I've seen, I saw him in Syracuse when Syracuse took on North Carolina in the Carrier Dome, and Tom Brady whizzed with Julian Edelman. Maybe they come back to New England, maybe San Diego. What do you think? New England?
Well, first of all, San Diego has to have a team. Obviously, the Chargers moving to LA, but I don't think Brady goes anywhere besides New England. This is a franchise. He's been to the playoffs more times than not, and still having the best coach of all time and elite defense. What does he have to lose by going to another franchise? He's not going to end his career with the Raiders.
Definitely. Wheelhaus, #1 in the books. The team will have you covered next week with another update.
See you then. Thanks for tuning in.